Says, you say you've never had a boyfriend, you've always been single. Why is that?
Like, we should be desperate. We're not trying to get married.
Incoming real and valid feelings from a 32-year-old who's never been in a relationship.
I'm 32 and I have never been on a date, never been kissed.
One time I passed him and he was like staring at me. She comes back, she goes, he's married.
I believe in my heart by 2030, 75 to 80% of women would be single. No kids, no ring, and no husband.
I found your blue-collar man. Too late. You're not gonna find one.
Welcome back to More to Life. Now, before we get into this video, I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. Also, smash that notification bell just to be sure you get on my videos as soon as I release them. Let's get right into this.
I've been single my whole life, and I posted a video about it and had a lot of people asking. This person says, you say you've never had a boyfriend, you've always been single. Why is that? Just asking because I always find it more shocking for women. So I'ma tell you what's happened. Now, I am 30 years old.
Over 27, unmarried, female. What do you call this lady? Which means leftover women.
And I have never had a partner. No one's ever asked me to be their girlfriend. I have dated, caveat to that, but nothing has ended up in a serious or a long-term relationship. Or even a short-term relationship for that matter. I don't know if there's anybody else like this. I know that there are definitely some because I've met them, but I'd be curious to hear your own experiences. But for me, multiple things. When I was 16, I dated this guy, probably the one and only love of my life so far, but he mugged me off because he wouldn't make me his girlfriend. So at 16, I just refused to sleep with him. And then he actually some shit down, and that kind of ended. That's probably the most serious thing I had. That was for about 2 months. And then over the course of the following 15 years, I had some really shitty experiences with guys, probably from the ages of like 17 to like 20, 21, that really weren't cool. I've been through therapy and I'm fine, but it just put me off and it made me really scared of everything. And I went traveling. And just wasn't thinking about partners and love. I was just enjoying and living my best life. And then I came back and I moved to London and I decided that I wanted to go traveling again. So I dated for a little bit in those years when I was like living in London. But the following years, I was like, well, I'm traveling, so I don't want to get a partner. And I was so set on potentially ending up.
She had a couple of partners in London. Then she traveled. She was doing her thing. She mentioned something like that, didn't she? She definitely was getting it in when she was traveling, and that's all she was doing. I got a feeling that she's one of those girls, I want to get it in right now. I can tell by her Twitch reaction when she started singing out of nowhere. She's all about fun and right now. And the reason why she's single also, she looks rather older. If she's 30 years old, that's what it sounds like she's saying, right? Why I've been single for 30 years? Yeah, you're 30 years old, but me, I'm 43. You look like you may be older than me or close to my age. And guys, you look like used goods.
Another country with a backpack on my own. I was like, I don't want a partner. So I purposely didn't go into anything for that reason. And so I went on dates, but I was like, no, all of this. Then COVID happened. So I didn't get to go traveling, but we were all in at home and I didn't want to be on dating apps. What I did during COVID was I learned a skill and I set up a business. So love that for me, but I became very career focused and just decided to focus on that. So in COVID, I didn't really date. So that was really like 2 years of not dating. And then we come out of COVID and I'm running my business, I'm having a good time and I'm back on the dating scene. I have the best relationship with all of that kind of stuff now. And I ask people out, I shoot my shot, I give my number out, I go on dating apps. Dating apps are very different now than what they were like 10 years ago because I've been on them the whole time. Still looking and still like trying and still going on dates. But it's just these series of events that happened. There's not one thing that is the reason for me being single this whole time. And I think people find it weird. I think people think something's wrong with me and I'm perfect. No joking. That's just the way the cookie is crumbled. So there's nothing specific. There is, it's just how it is. And it's taken me a bit of time to become okay with that. But now I feel no shame. I love telling people, I love sharing it with people, and just know that you're not alone if you're in the same situation, and know that people that haven't had partners before aren't weird. It doesn't mean they're not good enough. It doesn't mean that they're not going to find love. It's just the journey of their life, and I trust in the divine timing of my life.
I don't trust you. You're too fast. The way you're talking is too fast. Why are you talking like that? Why are you so antsy? You want to travel all the time. You want to have businesses. You want to do everything. You're even talking to guys, but you're still single. It sounds like at least 5 times you keep saying, then I dated, then I dated, then I was dating. And you said it so fast, you made it seem like you weren't dating.
Couldn't agree more.
You made it seem like you didn't try at all. When you just said 5 times you were trying. You're too busy. You need to slow down. Live life a little bit slower. Maybe things will come to you a lot easier. Because, as you said, you don't mind shooting your shot. So, you definitely need to work on shooting your shot more.
Hi. Quick story time. So I went to a pool party today. I didn't stay very long. But I had a very good conversation with him. I'd say he's, I don't know, maybe in his late 40s. He was talking about the dating apps. And he's like, yeah, these women need us, and I don't know what they're thinking. And I said, ooh, tell me more. You know? And he said, you know, these women are coming with us and asking what we can do for them, and, you know, we need them to come with 50-50. Especially these women who are in their 40s and 50s.
You're right about that.
And I'm thinking, okay, what else, sir? Because I want to hear the story. And he says, you know, and he sounds very angry. Like, I'm like, why are you talking to me like this? You didn't meet me on a dating app. We at a pool party. Why are you talking to me like this? So he continued to tell me how, like, older women, like me, like, we should be desperate. You know, we should understand that we're not the prize anymore. I hated to tell him this. You're not the prize. We are living our full lives of peaceful tranquility, and the young brothers are coming for us. I don't know why they're coming for us, but they do, and we enjoy it. Stop. We don't care about you. We're not trying to get married. We'd like a long-term relationship with someone who is caring.
She just said the young brothers are coming for us. They just want to smash. The fact that he told you this, maybe he was talking to you. That's what it seems like. He can see you're old. He's telling you, which I wouldn't have never approached you like that. Don't get ahead of yourself. And she said men are not the prize. If men are not the prize, who is? It's definitely not you. You don't bring anything. And that's what he was trying to tell you. He was trying to tell you, look, a younger guy coming for you wants one thing. And a lot of times, if you're not giving it to him, he's telling you to kick rocks. But that's not going to happen. Why? Because you want it. And it's something you've always gotten your whole life. Since you was a little girl, you was involved in the same tactics from 16, and you'll be involved all the way to 60. Like, think about it. I look at what's going on in your life. Why are you not married? Instead of playing games, dating around, being with younger guys, try to get with someone your age and work on getting married. when a guy approaches you like that, get out of your head that you're a prize. Get out of your head what you can possibly get and get a man.
Incoming, real and valid feelings from a 32-year-old who's never been in a relationship
I wonder why.
before. This is usually a page of hope, and most days I am full of hope and gratitude, but I think it's important to document the days when it's really hard, especially as my 32nd Christmas single comes up. I've been really reflecting on and just grasping with the fact that I guess I feel behind in this stage of my life. Like 80% of people my age have dated, gotten engaged, married, and are on stage 4 of having kids. And I haven't even entered stage 1. And I know that there's no such thing as being behind. We're all on our own timeline, and I'm grateful for just who I am and how far I have come. But there is a sense of disappointment, I think, that comes with this very, very long and stagnant waiting season. And I know it's going to happen. I have faith that there is someone out there, that God's timing is perfect. But that also means that my timeline is actually going to be way shorter, I think, than most people. Like, I would have loved to date someone for 2-3 years, get engaged for a year, and then live married life without kids for like 3 or 4. But the reality is, because I'm 32 and if I want kids and stuff, I will probably have a much shorter timeline, and that makes me sad.
I totally understand. I would be sad too. I think if any other lady was like you, they would be sad too. Now you're stuck in princess mode, Cinderella, storytell, man's gonna sweep me off my feet. I can tell from the way you talking, you kind of sound like you just came fresh out of a Cinderella story. You do. And that's not gonna happen. A guy's not gonna come sweep you off the feet. A guy's not bringing you 16 chariots. Your chariot awaits. He's not bringing a line of chariots to meet you like some prince. That's not happening. That's all a fairy tale. And what happened is today, and probably many other days before that, you came to a harsh realization, and it's good because you're close to past your time, and you're almost at the age of a geriatric pregnancy, and you haven't even had a kiss yet. Man, we have a whole generation of either they're for the streets or they're too guarded, right? And I don't think she was too guarded. I think she guarded herself and she didn't want to grow up, right? She wanted to be a little girl a whole life, and she got stuck. And this is an example of that.
Hi,
Oh, here we go again.
I'm Alora. I'm 32 and I have never been on a date, never been counseled. Let's get into it. So this is an interesting comment that I wanted to address, because what is my knee-jerk reaction to dating? It's scary. And so far my coping mechanism for life are things that are scary we avoid. Now, this is a good self-preservation tactic, but it's not particularly recommended for like personal growth. I have found through personal experience that change, for better or for worse, comes from obliterating comfort zones. So I can tell you truthfully that since I turned 30, I have been challenged in every way, personally, professionally, creatively, now romantically. My life has changed in positive ways and negative ways because of it. But if I hadn't done those things, it would be exactly the same. And that's what I wasn't okay with. So in general, I'm trying to stop avoiding things because they're scary within reason. Okay. Like I didn't go after my mom stopped scheduling my appointments, like my doctor's appointments, my dentist appointments when I was a teenager for me. I didn't go to the doctor or the dentist until I turned 30. Okay. And then I was like, oh, we're going to be in this body for a while. We need to overcome this anxiety around stepping into a doctor's office or making a phone call. So baby steps. So my overall knee-jerk reaction to dating is right now it's a scary thing, but if I can overcome that fear factor and make myself more comfortable with the overall process of putting myself out there, it might be less scary the next time I try. That's what I'm hoping for anyway.
Nightmare. That anxiety you feel, you should have been to a therapist a long time ago, and probably the other girl too. And I'm sure you cry your eyes out a lot of nights, a lot of no lonely nights. Now, you got to step up. Sitting home, being that way, you've let life live you. You didn't live life. You let life live you. Worrying, fear, false evidence appearing real, and it's written all over. If any guy gets with a woman like this, it's a nightmare. It is. It truly is. You know, when I met my wife, she was 28 years old, but she had a mentality like this, but not quite, right? Because she was ready and willing and showed it. I don't see that on none of them.
Here's how I spent my 31st birthday as a single woman living in Toronto. I woke up with the sunrise and decided at the very last second to book a Jaybird class, so I had to book it. Side note, ever since cutting out gluten and dairy, I feel so much less bloated. After my class, I stopped at the Roasted Nut to pick up a cashew butter latte to bring home with me. But first, I had to drink my GI Repair Sap, aka my go-go juice. If you have IBS-D or C, this helps so much, and you have to drink it on an empty stomach. I had the most chaotic work day. I had so much content to turn around, and I had worked super late the night before with Toronto Girls Social. I also had so many errands to run, including a nail appointment, because you know you have to get a fresh mani and pedi before a trip. Side note, I am doing a giveaway with UGG Canada on my Instagram tomorrow, so make sure you follow me there if you want a chance to win a pair of UGG Classic. I came home to a chaotic apartment, so naturally I self-soothed with food. I ate a carrot muffin from the Roasted Nut, and Fresh actually sent me lunch, which was so sweet of them. I had a ton of packages to open. Jo Malone sent me their sweet pea and pear perfume, which smells amazing, and I ordered these Tivas, but they were giving Jesus, so I returned them. Then I got ready to meet my friend Lauren for dinner, and she actually surprised me with my friend Audrey. We went to Le Select, and they treated me for dinner, and it was such a nice night. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Now, what did you notice with her? It was the same as the other woman, right? Busy, a lot of work, everything that doesn't attract a man. Seriously, that's like mosquito repellent for us. You're doing this, you're doing that, you got this, you got your line, whatever, you got all these things going on. No downtime. Where's your room for a boyfriend? Where's your room for anyone but yourself getting ahead? It's not there. I don't see it, and I don't think a guy would see it with you, and he'd be smart if he chooses to go the other way when he sees you coming.
I had a very disappointing experience this weekend as a 25-year-old single woman. Okay, let me tell you the story. So I'm out with a bunch of my friends at this bar, having a great time, dancing, the music is super good. Of course, I'm always taking a little glance here and there for a cute guy. I wasn't really seeing much, so we're dancing, whatever. I do this little move where I spin around. I did like a 180, and when I landed in the opposite direction, I was right in front of this really cute guy. Mind you, we made like very direct, intense eye contact, and I could tell that he like thought it was funny. I said to him, I was like, oh my God, sorry. And he was like, no, like you're totally fine. I turn around and I'm like, okay, like was that just our meet cute? But kept dancing with my friends, whatever. Night goes on a little more. He's still lingering around. He's definitely making eye contact with me throughout the night, and like I kind of am too because he's really cute. And one time I passed him and he was like staring at me, and then I just said to him, sorry, I like got up all in your face before. He goes, oh no, I liked it, don't worry. And I was like, oh, okay. The night goes on, still dancing. Music was really good. DJ was slaying. And again, we're still making eye contact throughout the night. So then next he comes up to me and he says, oh, I really like your dimples and I love your hair. And I was like, okay, thank you. That's nice. And he was clearly flirting with me. And then like we carry on. Still none of us have said anything super direct, just kind of like going back and forth like that. Fun. And I was like, just this guy's like really cute, and he like keeps kind of flirting with me. Not kind of, he was flirting with me 100%. As the night goes on, I'm with one of my best friends and I tell her, you need to go ask if he's single, assuming of course that he is, but we just kind of wanted to say something so he knew I was interested, as if it wasn't already obvious. I'm like, okay, go ask him. And she goes, she comes back. I'm expecting her to say, oh yeah, he's single and he is into you or something. Maybe he has a girlfriend and he's just not the greatest boyfriend. She comes back, she goes, he's married. Gotcha. He's married? that one hurt. To whoever his wife is, I feel bad for her, because if my husband was doing that with random girls at a bar, that would make me cry myself to sleep. And number two, dude, you wasted my night. I could have been looking for a single man and you had me flirting with you as a married man. So that shocked me to my core. That was really annoying, and I just can't believe he had the audacity to flirt with me so openly when he has a wife. Unless he was lying, but that would just be a really weird lie to make up about yourself, like making yourself look that bad. That's pretty much a summation of my recent experiences out and about as a single woman. Very disappointing.
No. He wasn't flirting. He clearly wasn't flirting. If you could take that as flirting, he said something to you he probably shouldn't have. You turn around and got in his face. He told you he liked it. He was being honest. He did. That's flattering to a guy. Something like that happens, it's flattering. He probably shouldn't have said it because he's married. But flirting? Far from it. She thought she was cooking. That's what happened. That's why you're mad. You're mad because you thought that was everything a guy wanted to hear. Like you was pitting on the moves or pitting on, you thought you was spitting game.
This is not a fairy tale.
And you weren't. You barely said words to him. You barely said hi. You said hi. That was it. You said, oh, sorry. That was, I was almost, and then walked up to him and said, I'm sorry for almost bumping into you. He said, no, that's fine. I like, oh, he's flirting with me. Oh, he said he liked it. Oh, because he did, because guys don't get that. He probably shouldn't have said that. He led you on. Yeah.
I am single at 31, and that is definitely not something I ever thought I would be saying. When I was younger, that I would be married with kids, I'd have my house.
Then what happened?
At 31, and instead my partner of 4 years and I have decided to go separate ways. I have moved back to Sydney in with my parents. Semi-treated like a 14-year-old, like they forgot that well, at least my mum has forgotten that I know how to live. And honestly, it feels embarrassing. You know, the first thing I think of is being 31 and so many of my friends are in happy relationships with kids, they're engaged, they're married, and I'm like, cool. Obviously so happy for them, but then I look at myself and I'm like, wow, I'm just not where I thought I would be. And it's certainly a hard pill to swallow, like a really, really hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow, but you have to swallow it. And you have to think and reflect on what happened. 4 years is a long time. Did you ever think over things you might have said or how you may have messed up with him? And I didn't hear why you broke up, but I'm sure it was a lot of things going on in that relationship he didn't like, or he'd still be with you, or he'll be married to you. No children. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not expecting you to have children. I'm expecting you to have a husband, because that's why you're dating, right? 4 years is a long time. That was a long time wasted. And I see it day by day. Tons of y'all in relationships enjoying sexual relations. That's it. Don't care about being wives. A lot of you won't proposition or position yourself to be a wife. Won't do things to show, I'm your wife. So what does he do? I'm not going to make you a wife. And you're here now.
Jordan Peterson said 50% of women 30 and under are now childless, and half of them will never have kids again. And he said 90% of them will regret it. I believe in my heart by 2030, 75 to 80% of women will be single. No kids, no ring, and no husband. We agree. You women believe you have a plenty of time. More and more women coming up on the social media in Australia saying they are single. More and more women 30 and over, they find it very hard to find a guy. You women, when you hit the 30 and over, you started to decline. And the ability to have kids will get harder and harder. Your chances to have kids will It's so slim, you have no idea. A drop from 100% to 70%, from 70% to 50%. When you hit the 38, a drop to 10%, and you might never have kids again. You guys believe you have a plenty of time. You guys believe your physical appearance and your look is going to take you a long way. You're not thinking a long term. You're only thinking about now. You all believe you're going to stay young forever. So many women, they believe they're going to stay young forever. And they think we've got plenty of time. That's okay, bro. We've got plenty of time. Let me tell you something, guys, and this is fact. The clock is ticking. The biological clock is ticking. You have no time. When you think you have time, you have no time. You guys believe that you're still young. You guys believe that, you know what, I'm still young. When you're young, you go and you have fun and your body count very high and you start meeting different guys. And you believe, I said it so many times, your physical look and your beauty is going to take you a long way.
Okay, I have a question for the girlfriends or girls. Are these things okay for your boyfriend to do to another girl, like for another girl? Okay, hear me out. And I'm asking this because it had happened to me, and then I was like, wait, how would I feel if my boyfriend did this to another girl? And I was like, So basically, I was grocery shopping out with my friends, and my bag was like really heavy because it had like milk and kombuchas and stuff. And then my guy friend was like, oh, here, let me hold it for you. And then he was like holding it out for me. And then I was like, oh, thanks. And I wasn't thinking much about it until he was holding it for like a pretty long time until we got to the car and we were putting it in the trunk. And I was like, wait, if that was my boyfriend doing that to another girl, like how would I feel? Like, I think it would be okay if it was like super, super heavy and the girl like couldn't hold it. But like those bags were manageable on my own. Like I could hold it. But I was just like, would my boyfriend do that? Like, I'm not saying he needs to be very mean to other girls, but I don't want him to go out of his way to like help another girl, if that makes sense.
She just said her guy friend. Another guy in the friend zone.
Relationship guys.
Friend zone.
Where are they?
They're in the friend
zone.
zone.
Are they at the gym?
Probably might be.
At home playing video? Like, where are they?
They're in the friend zone.
He's helping you with your bags in the store. Oh no, we're just friends. No, that's your husband right there. I can tell he's looked at you before like that before. I would if I was him. And you just leave him on standby. And yet still, you don't have a man because you said if I had a boyfriend. What's up with that? Why is it still a thing? There's still, I know why it's still a thing. Because you feel your boyfriend has to be mysterious. A bad boy. In some way. In some shape or form. Right? No taekwondo. Be muscular. 6 feet. When that guy's just sitting there on standby. And we need to end it. I think the friend zone, a lot of guys, if they have girlfriends, just end it. Just stop going around their girlfriends. I had one years ago. I said, no more. No smashing was getting done.
Ladies, the men are evolving. They're stealing our secrets. This one man who ghosted me on all platforms, he blocked my number. He blocked me on social media. I just discovered that he's been watching my stories from his business account. So when he sees this, first of all, second of all, well played.
All I want to know is where are the blue collar men when they're not at work? Because they're rarely at the bar. They're not on Hinge. Like, I can't find them anywhere.
You're looking in the wrong places. And you're not going to find them. You're not going to find them at the bar. You're definitely not going to find them on Hinge. Why? Because they're all at home.
Unhappily married.
They're either at home, eating dinner, cooking barbecue. They're definitely drinking a beer because they've had a very long day at work. And they've got to be in bed early because they've got to be up really early to do it all again. They don't have time to spend it at a bar. They definitely don't have time to spend it on Hinge. So, if you haven't found your blue collar man, too late. You're not going to find one.
My point exactly.
Because he's already taken, and he's already providing for his family. Sorry, hun.
There you have it. All the guys that you want, like before, you've heard talks of a lot, not women you want to hear from really, right? Saying, oh, I would never date a blue collar man. But a lot of you want one. And as he said, that time is up. Those guys are getting taken and they're not looking back. You can go to a bar, find a married guy there. What happened? The guy told her he was married. You can go around on TikTok saying, I want to find a blue collar man. You're not going to find one. You're not going to find any kind of man, because even the men that want to be found don't want to be played games with. They would rather be single. And you're going to learn the hard way. 2030, woo, that's going to be a time. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next video.
Who's coming?